Is this like a Henry Cavill mustache thing where he needs to keep
Oh my
this look
God.
for another role?
Can you imagine if they had to CGI his hair out?
Welcome to Tairimo Boys podcast. I'm your host Cody. With me in second chair is the boy who's the world's second greatest detective. It's Ryan.
What's up?
I don't think
It's the
you.
first Batman.
Yes, you didn't get that right
That's what I
away.
like to hear. I'm in good company.
That was Dick Tracy.
I'd take that. That was a good movie. We should review that one.
Throw it in the backlog. Throw it in the backlog.
Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about mystery movies today, specifically the brand new Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, which is the new, well, the third movie in the whole Knives Out series. Yeah, if you're unaware, they're making more of these, so they plan to make more of them.
The first one you and I didn't see in the theater.
We did see it in a theater.
No. This is the first one we've never seen in the
Oh,
theater.
okay. Ryan, you already ruined my joke.
Oh fuck, what were we gonna say?
I was gonna be like, Ryan, what's your history with this series?
Oh yeah.
No.
Actually, yeah. We went and saw the first two.
Yep.
Same theater, right?
No. So the first one we went to the theater I normally went to, but whenever
Yeah.
the second one came out, they were doing so much of that stuff on online that they only had a select release of it. And we went to that crappy AMC theater with like all the handprints on the glass.
Oh yeah.
I've never gone there since, but this time around it's on Netflix, so there you go. No crappy AMC theater for me. I think honestly, I think the last one was on Netflix too, but we just went to the theater and watched it.
Yeah.
So Ryan, what were your first thoughts on this movie?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love the first one. Second one was okay. I'm gonna be useless during this review. I was not engaged in this at all, and I
Really,
didn't even bother watching it a second time.
really.
I just did not hit me the way the first one did, even though I probably should.
I was gonna say because like when it comes to my first thoughts, like I thought this was the best one.
Did you really?
Yeah, like I thought what was going on was interesting, and like the characters, some of the secondary characters are not very fleshed out, but like the characters
No.
that do develop, I feel like they're developed well. You're kind of left questioning the mystery in the film, especially whenever as the film like ramps up and starts adding more crap onto it. If you threw all three of the Knives Out movies in front of me, I'd watch the third one.
I'm probably a little spoiled though because I liked the cast of the first one. I was a huge fan of all those actors. I'm a huge fan of like the actors in this one too.
Well, you could be like me, where you don't know any of these people from anywhere, except for
Yeah.
Josh Brolin.
But I'll bet you've done it before. I'll bet you could talk me into really re-examining this movie.
So let's talk about it then. So before we get to that, now Ryan, I've got a question for you. Since we've got so much experience with the series, a lot of people that review it online will say these movies are for idiots. Do you think like the mysteries in these are like smart, or are they for idiots?
I don't think they're for idiots. What are they basing that on?
Like the plots are stupid. That's what I remember.
No, I mean I've never gotten that sense.
A lot of it too is like tropes, because like the second one they do like the whole twins thing, and this one we'll talk about it more, but like it's literally a locked room mystery.
The twins thing, I don't remember what we talked about for the second one, but the
We did.
twins thing in the second one didn't really bother me
Yeah, like
all that much.
I thought it was clever.
Yeah,
Maybe people who are more used to mystery movies wouldn't like it, but I thought it was cleverly done in that
yeah,
movie. But like I'm not used to watching very many mystery movies. There aren't very many like good mystery movies anyway. At least
no.
in ones that come out nowadays. And I'll always remember that scene in the second movie where Daniel Craig's character Blanc he ruins the guy's like murder mystery thing
Yep,
right before he could even start the damn thing.
yep. I want to spoil this for whenever if we ever review that movie, but that was my favorite scene.
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite scene. Okay, I always remember like he spoils the whole thing, and then the guy's just sitting there like with a scowl on his face, and then the crossbow shoots
Yeah,
the fake arrow at him. Just continues just sitting like that. I love whenever he goes back to his office and Vlog's like, oh, all fangirling all over. He's like, oh, that was the greatest mystery ever. It's like, why did you ruin my mystery? He's like, and then he like finally turns serious. Like, I don't think you could read the room, but everyone in that room wants you dead. Like if I hadn't ruined that, you probably would be dead right now. But we're talking about the second movie. We're reviewing the third movie. So okay, for starting off with this movie, Ryan, what do you think of like Daniel Craig's like new look?
I wasn't into it with
Okay.
the really long hair. I forgot. Did he have short hair in the second one?
Yeah, I mean, he had like the typical Bond look in the
Yeah,
first two
I
movies.
like that look for the detective more than old guy that just came from a Fish concert.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was him. Like at the start of the movie when I was reading the letter.
Yeah,
I saw, and then throughout the movie, it's like, why are they changing this? Like, is he? Is this like a Henry Cavill mustache thing where he needs to keep
oh my
this
god.
look for another role?
Can you imagine if they had to CGI his hair out?
Those people have been like, I'm done. New job, please. Like, I don't like when they change characters like this for like no reason.
Yeah,
Like you just get the image in your head of what they're supposed to look like. Like if he would
yeah,
have if he would have looked like this in the last two movies, I think I'd definitely be fine with it. But like now,
yeah.
yeah, don't change what worked previous time. But other than that, let's get into the movie. All right, so for anyone unaware of these Knives Out movies, they're murder mystery movies. So in this one, we follow a priest. His name is Judd. He used to be a boxer and killed someone in the ring. So he kind of became a priest in order to kind of repent for what he did. He gets sent to like
Which
a.
is not the worst thing a Catholic priest has done. Am I right?
Well, Ryan, here's your little fun fact. Your kids are more likely to be struggle snuggled by a teacher than a priest.
That's comforting.
So watch your teachers. But he's sent to the small town to work under like an established priest there, and the established priest he's got a cult of personality around him, and the guy's pretty much dog shit about being a priest. But he ends up getting murdered, and both Judd and Daniel Craig's character Blanc have to come in and solve like the complex killing of the priest. So Ryan, you said you didn't like the movie. What are some things you didn't like about the movie?
I think part of it, to be quite honest, I think part of it was just a little burnout because, going in to these movies, especially after the second movie, you go into it like, okay, it's going to be like the twists. There's going to be like these twists and
Mm-hmm.
turns, and you're going to have to like kind of take a few minutes to kind of square it in your head. And it was just too much brain power for me. But the big thing was the very end where it's like Hawkeye killed the dude, but it was really Glenn Close that did it. I just kind of bumped into that a lot because the other two, I think it was like one killer.
There was pretty much two villains in this movie.
Yeah, I think that's the thing I bumped into the most, which isn't the biggest deal in the world, but I don't know, it just wasn't very. I don't know, I didn't think it was clean.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from. Like, I think this was the first movie that I figured out what was going on. I mean, I didn't have like all the
Yeah,
details on how it was done, but I pegged like the two villains because
yeah,
this movie's got a like I said, a lot of the characters are like seriously underdeveloped, and
yeah,
you got to ask like these underdeveloped characters, what would their motivation be for like killing him?
yeah.
Meanwhile, you've got like these more developed characters, and they're well, I mean, Hawkeye wasn't very well developed, but
Oh
like
no,
there started being clues that he was involved in the whole thing.
yeah,
But I could see where you're coming from.
yeah.
Here's a question for you. Did you ever read that book that they constantly refer to in the movie, The Hollow Man?
No,
Okay,
I
because
actually I want to listen to it on audiobook.
listen to a Ready Player One review for that conversation. But here's the thing: if you would have read that book, you probably would have been able to solve the mystery like really quickly. I mean, did you even solve the
Yeah.
mystery at all, Ryan?
No, I ain't gonna lie.
Hmm.
I would love to lie to make myself look good, but I didn't.
Yeah, like I said, I pegged the two villains, some of the clues going on, but I didn't have like
Yeah,
all the whole spider web around them.
yeah,
But here's the thing about the Hollow Man. The Hollow Man has like 7 ways in it that lists like how like someone dies in a like locked room mystery. And whenever Blanc first arrives on the scene and he's like investigating, he's actually going down the list of the 7 things. Like he gets stuck on a while for like, oh, is there a robot in here that would have killed him? That's actually number 3. What actually happened to the priest is number 6 and 7 on this list. So number 6 is the murders committed by someone outside the room using a kind of a long range device, and number 7 is the person is drugged and killed later. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
combination of those two things, and that's kind of if Blanc would have gone down the full list, he probably would have figured out the mystery at the beginning.
Yeah.
But that ain't an interesting movie, right?
Right?
All right, Ryan, did you think like the whole murder scheme was convoluted?
I did. I think this one was I think that was convoluted. I actually thought the one in the first one was convoluted too. But this one I had a hard time kind of following a little bit.
Well, I mean, the first one was just switching out like the labels on the medicine, and then
Yeah.
the guy accidentally unalived himself because he thought he was dying. But
Yeah.
like this one, it's like an extremely complex plot. I was like, okay, well, first we're gonna drug him, and then whenever people are distracted, I'm gonna actually stab him and kill him, and then and then we're gonna
I did
do.
actually like when it shows Hawkeye stabbing Thanos. I'm just gonna refer to everybody as their Marvel characters.
I was thinking Cable.
I did like how that was shot.
Did they show like his actual death at the beginning, or is it just in the flashback where you can see him pull the knife?
I'm talking about the flashback.
Okay, just a flashback. I will say this, like, yeah, the plot to kill him is convoluted, and it gets even more convoluted once you start having the Jesus stuff come in. But I thought it was personally clever. Man,
Yeah.
the key pieces were there. It's like, okay, we're gonna drug him, make it look like it's fake, and then because no one could actually get to him, so whenever everyone's distracted, then we
Right.
actually kill him.
Right.
So it kind of knocks like suspicion away from everyone. But I mean, this goes back to the thing like Hawkeye was so underdeveloped.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would agree.
because for the viewers at home, they're essentially like the priest's like grandfather had like a $60 million gem that he hid, and I kind of figured out right away where that gem was gonna be. Like Hawkeye's character was he was kind of an alcoholic because his wife left him, and the motive wasn't really there for him to help. It's like at the end, like the last second, they pulled a motive. It's like, oh, he thought he can use the money to get his wife back. It's like, brother, you need to move on.
Yeah. Is this the first time Jeremy Renner's played a villain?
I don't know. This is take too much time to look up. Maybe he's got a long history. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're just sitting there talking about Hawkeye. So, but like the old lady, I pegged her like right away because she was like extremely
Yeah.
developed, and they kind of alluded to something early that there was like a bunch of extra stuff going on like between her and the groundskeeper, even though like she was
Yeah.
extremely like religious. Like,
Always the religious ones, the extremely religious ones.
this is a religious movie, Ryan. I will ask you this: like, what'd you think? Like, whenever we started getting to like the Jesus stuff, where the priest, where Thanos rose from the grave and then went and killed the doctor.
Actually, I kind of dug that stuff. Did you?
Yeah, like I loved it because like I thought I knew by that point I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's like the old lady that's the villain, and then
Yeah.
that whole plot twist comes up, and I was like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Because it got to throw a wrench into
Yeah.
it. By the way, that happens like 1 hour before the movie ends. I was like, the movie was actually getting ready to wrap up at that point, and then you could like a whole nother hour of this shit.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of figured out what was going on right away. It's like, okay, there's no way this like we actually have a Jesus situation here. Like, did
Right.
someone sneak into was someone like else buried in there, and then because like I said, I was pretty sure the gem was on like the grandpa priest's corpse, and then like whenever they go into the tomb to investigate, they open his coffin. There's like nothing in there. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
his body. So I was like, oh yeah. So I think someone came in here. But like it left me confused until like the very end where the old lady was confessing to everything.
Yeah.
But a lot of it just comes down to Hawkeye decided to branch out on his own and convoluted the whole thing.
I'm gonna ask you something, and
Yep.
usually we just wait till like what's your favorite scene? I'm gonna tell you about my favorite scene. What did you think? This is my favorite scene. What did you think of that scene where Blanc is discussing religion with the priest?
So that's kind of complex for me because like this is a Netflix movie, and there is a lot of like current year stuff in the movie. And the weird thing is, like at the end, whenever Blanc's getting ready to spoil, like blurt out what the case is, and then he does the fake out of like, oh, I don't actually know what happened. Like it looks like there's like actual religious like symbolism going on, like with the light shining through the stuff. I felt like Blanc's character was written to be like, fuck you, religious people, because
Right.
he's like he's an atheist, even though there's like maybe he's having like an actual road to Damascus type situation in this movie.
Hmm.
Like I think Judd is like an extremely well written character in this movie, where he's
Right.
remorseful for what he did, and is like actually trying to be like a shining example. Like he actually wants to help these people, and but
Right.
everyone's just here for like to be for the cult of personality type thing. Overall, like Judd's was a good character, but like I think the overall movie was just trying to shit on Christians.
Right.
I'm guessing you got that same feeling.
The reason it was my favorite scene actually, so in the scene when Blanc was going off, I actually felt like Blanc was his characterization right there was just kind of cartoony with just how much he went off on religion. What made it my favorite scene was how when he's talking, the scene is, I always talk about how much I love cinematography. Was the scene gets dark, and then when it switches to Judd, the scene starts like
Lighting up.
light,
Yeah.
yeah, starts to get lighting up. That's what I loved about it.
Yeah. I mean that's what I was talking about. Like it's constantly going on in this movie. It's
Yeah.
Judd's religious and Blanc isn't. But I will. My favorite scene is actually a different one. It was like the final confession between Judd and older priest, which
Yeah.
is just to give a little context to our viewers at home. The old priest played by Thanos. He's a piece of shit, and like
Yeah.
every he does like confession with him every day. And he's like, okay, today I jerked off in the shower, and I had a dream where I was in one of those Japanese cat cafes, but all the cats are actually girls. So whenever I woke up, I actually jerked off to that.
We've all had that dream, right?
But like I love like the final confession because it's like so Thanos is like confessing all this, and then like, all right, I'd like to confess too. Like they switched to like the little purple sash thing. Like, all
Yeah.
right, I went through Sister Martha's records, and you ended up getting and saw that you got a like surgery for a problem you got done years ago, and you can't get an erection anymore. So you've been lying to me all this time. And then it's like, so he's like, oh, he takes off the sash, punches him. Like, all right, we're in the real world now. It's like I'm gonna say, and then that's whenever Judd has like I'm gonna like you're a piece of shit, and I'm gonna do whatever's possible to save you, save these people.
Yeah.
So it's just like I think it was like that went on for like 6 months if I remember right.
Yeah.
I felt like that kind of stuff that was like cleverly written. It's
Yeah.
funny, it's clever, and it's kind of changes the tone of the movie, like in a good way.
Yeah.
But if we want to ask generic questions, Ryan, who was your favorite character in the movie?
Favorite character? I want to take Blanc out of the equation. I'm gonna go with the groundskeeper, but a lot of that's because I'm a huge Thomas Hayden Church fan. Or
That's
Sandman, as he's known in Spider-Man 3.
yeah. There's a lot of
And No
Marvel
Way Home.
people in this movie.
Yep. I'm gonna walk back something I said earlier. Like I would say this cast is a close second to the cast of the first one. There's a lot of heavy hitters in this one.
Yeah, I like the groundskeeper too, but I also felt like he was more developed than most of the characters,
Uh-huh.
but he still suffered a little bit from it.
Yeah.
Like a major clue at the beginning was when he slapped Martha's ass whenever she was walking by. Very important clue. Ryan, what parts were you like losing focus on? What?
I was losing focus kind of toward the beginning, and when Blanc started to unravel the whole thing. Not at the end, but kind of closer to the end. You know what I mean. That I was kind of losing it. But full disclosure, I was probably dehydrated. I was dehydrated when I watched this movie, so that probably
Okay, so stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah,
Ryan, make sure you always have a bottle of water next time you do a review.
yeah. I've not been drinking my water, kids.
So that's Ryan's problem. The movie didn't have any water. Okay.
Yeah. Why do I have a headache? Oh, it's probably because I haven't drank anything for 3 days, except for Dr. Pepper.
Shit'll kill you. But yeah, I mean these mystery movies, you really gotta kind of keep your focus on them, just so you can
Right.
pick up like the clues, like the whole wolf's head things, like the whole photograph with the two wolves' heads in them. Like I saw that the medical bag was there, but I didn't catch the second one.
Yeah.
I love clever stuff like that in the movies where it focuses on one thing
Yeah.
you're actually supposed to be looking at in like another. Yeah, I will say though that like once they find like the doctor, like once they find Hawkeye and Thanos dead, like in the like
Yeah.
acid tub, like that's when the movie I felt like became like extremely convoluted and it
Yeah.
was kind of pulling stuff out of its ass to explain everything.
Yeah.
And you should really give it a second viewing and see if you like it more the second.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about murder mystery movies: if you know the answer to them, they're not as good. So
Yeah.
maybe you can't reclaim the glory that is this movie.
I don't know. I could have somebody give me a concussion. Maybe I can forget it.
Hit you on the head with a timber enough times. All right, well, I've got nothing else.
I'm sure I was just being a little too hard on it, just because I was a massive fan of the first one, so it was kind of my high bar. Like I remember when we went to see the second one, I liked it. I wasn't as in love with it as I was the first one.
With each of these movies, like only like little pieces stick with me. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember like the first movie was full of fucking politics shit. Like okay, this gonna age really poorly. Then the second one is like they do it a little bit, but not too much. And then we get to the third one, and they're back to doing it a fucking lot.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this review in 10 years, this movie might not have aged too well.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, I enjoyed it. Maybe it's not for everyone. I know people have been criticizing it online that yeah, the murder was just way too convoluted. Probably could have gotten away with
Yeah.
it by taking the guy behind a shed, hitting him in the back of the head with a shovel. But
Yeah.
I mean, people don't want to watch a murder mystery movie where you do that.
Yeah.
They want to be able to predict. They want to be able to figure out the mystery on their own and be
Yeah.
amazed by the amazing twists.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming, or I didn't catch that piece of evidence. That's
Yeah.
kind of how you make a good mystery movie.
Yeah. For sure.
All right, let's scale this bad boy. So Ryan, today we've got the mystery movie scale. This scale is kind of hard for me to make because I couldn't really think or even research very many good mystery movies. I did anyway. So today, at the top of our scale, we've got the Clue movie. That's the movie that's based on the board game. I've never actually seen that movie myself. I heard it's really good though.
Putting that in the backlog.
Backlog grows. The bottom of the scale is the Detective Pikachu movie. I took a chick to see that in theaters, and that's one of those mystery movies that like all the evidence conveniently falls into everyone's lap, and they're just pretty much taking a tour of the movie.
Yeah.
I can tell you this chick fucked like a low pony right after the movie. All right, where would you scale this movie?
I'm gonna put it 3 magnifying glasses. No, I'm gonna put it 5 magnifying glasses below Clue. You kind of talked me into liking this movie a lot more
Yeah,
than I
just
the first impression.
if you got some time, just rewatch it, even if it's in
Yeah.
segments, and maybe you'll have more of a respect for it. Because,
Yeah.
like I mentioned, with when you got an hour left of the movie and you think you've solved the whole thing solved, and then they throw a wrench like that in the works, it's really clever.
Yeah.
Like I said, the main priest and Blanc, they're really well written. I just wish they would have wrote everyone else better, minor
Yeah.
characters. But I'll put it. I can't even put it on the scale. Like I said, I never saw the Clue movie. Close to Clue, I think. I enjoy it. Like I said, if I had to watch the 3 movies over, I'd watch this one the most.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to another episode of Tairimo Boys podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us what you like about mystery movies and what you'd expect in them. Don't forget to ring the motherfucking bell. Stay tuned for more episodes.